In today's wrap-up, the son-in-law of ex-president Serge Sargsyan is facing additional charges. 350 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed. The US has defunded an Armenian website which has been spreading misinformation. And Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan is set to visit Moscow for the Victory Day parade. The son-in-law of ex-president Serge Sargsyan and prominent media tycoon Mikhail Minassian has had additional counts of illegal enrichment levied against him, as well as false asset disclosure and money laundering. Only 4 days ago, Armenia's Court of Appeal revoked an arrest warrant for Minassian, which received condemnation from government figures, including Vice President of the National Assembly, Alen Simonyan, who stated that the decision was clear evidence of the desperate need for judicial reform. Minassian used to be Armenia's ambassador to the Vatican, and his current whereabouts are unknown. And though he has been releasing videos, he is refusing to reveal his location and has stated he will not return to Armenia. Minassian left Armenia shortly after the 2018 revolution and has been calling the charges politically motivated, whilst government figures are accusing him of having amassed a great deal of wealth illegally during the rule of the old Republican Party regime. 350 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in Armenia, which is a significant decrease compared to last week, where record high rates were experienced. 352 more recoveries were reported, outpacing the amount of new cases by a slight margin, and 6 new deaths were confirmed. Health Minister Vardan Petrosyan also stated that 350 more beds have been made available. In other news, after a joint effort by the All Armenia Fund and the Georgia-based Friends of Armenia initiative, which was kickstarted by the director of Alik Media, an Armenian language news website in Georgia, 27 ventilators were purchased and handed over to the All Armenia Fund at the Georgian-Armenian border. After recovering from COVID-19, Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan visited the Nork Infectious Diseases Hospital, where he wore a hazmat suit and spoke to health workers and patients. The US has defunded an Armenian website which has been spreading misinformation about coronavirus after an investigation by British website Open Democracy. Media AM was afforded funding by the US State Department in what was supposed to be money to promote democracy, human rights, and minority rights. Last week, Open Democracy revealed that the most read article in the website, funded by a grant from the US Embassy last year, called on Armenians to abandon any coronavirus vaccination program. The article had more than 131,000 views, and the media group was also highly critical of the government of Nikol Pashinyan. US Ambassador Lynn Tracy made a statement saying, quote, "We are strongly opposed to misinformation, which confuses the public and does not help in such an epidemic." Spokeswoman of the Prime Minister, Mane Gevorkyan, has announced that Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has accepted an invitation to travel to Moscow to attend the Victory Day parade, which will be held on June 24th, after it was postponed due to the pandemic. This comes as Moscow authorities have begun lifting anti-epidemic regulations, despite the presence of around 480,000 confirmed cases in Russia. ՍիվիլNeթ spoke to Grigori Hovhannisyan, Armenia's Deputy Foreign Minister between 2018 and 2020. He also previously served as ambassador to the US. He spoke about relations with Israel and the US, his role in establishing an Armenian embassy in Tel Aviv, why there has been a thaw in Armenian-Israeli relations, as well as Israel's relations with Azerbaijan. And finally, ՍիվիլNeթ's Karen Harutyunyan took a series of photos of the ancient monastery of Goshavank. Located in the village of Gosh, it was built sometime in the 12th or 13th centuries and stands in the place of an even more ancient monastery called Geti, which collapsed during an earthquake. Goshavank was one of the spiritual, educational, and cultural centers of medieval Armenia.